are now tuned into Flipping the Birds, a Philly Sports Network podcast.
Eagles fans, welcome all to episode 20, I believe it is.
21.
Wow.
Like, number of the DB who got his ass kicked today.
You definitely took my punchline away from me. You definitely just had a moment right there. It's like Devontae Parker had all game long against our damn
what
DBs.
You did against number 21. Like, I was Devontae Parker, and you were number 21, and I grabbed it from you.
You definitely just dogged me on my intro. Okay. That's perfectly fine, because you know what? This podcast deserves a little ruthlessness, I guess you could say, ruthlessness, recklessness right now because of how bad that game was. I feel like there's so much to say, but I really don't know what to say at this point.
Like all the breathing techniques my wife learned at Lama's class, I feel like I need right now.
I feel like I need your wife to go into labor right now. Is that possible? Can we schedule that?
Go into labor right now.
Can we get a win today? Like, can that be our win today?
That'll be the only win of the day.
If you're just joining us right now, Eagles are fresh off a loss in Miami. The whole team had a Giants moment where they went on a yacht last night. They all took pictures with their shirts off and now they're damned for their entire future. That's pretty much what it feels like right now. On the plus side, Miles Sanders over 100 yards all scrimmage. Alshon Jeffrey looked good coming back. Him and Wentz were seen laughing on the sidelines.
No, Jeffrey's a snitch.
I don't know. They were laughing about something. I don't think they were laughing like, "Hey, I know it's you."
Like, oh God, I just hate this damn game plan.
It was bad. Like, they went away from the run game in the second half. Even though the first drive looked remarkable. Like, the whole having the two tight ends in the whole entire drive was phenomenal. But
like, Sanders averaged 4.9 a carry. He was easily getting 4 yards every carry. There was maybe like 3 or 4 carries where he got like 2 or 3 yards. Mm-hmm. Everything else was 4 or more. When you'd have Wentz throwing 46 times against the league's worst, maybe second worst, rush defense. They were giving
up. That's what I don't get either.
Why is Wentz throwing so much? Yards a game on the ground. They were terrible. And you get J.J. back against his old team, where you fed of Jordan Howard against the Bears. J.J. second week back with the team, and you give him 2 carries.
Yep.
Like, Alshon Jeffrey balled the hell out. 9 catches for 137 yards. I think it's his first game over 100 yards in a while.
I think since 2017. It might be cool. No, it was since early 2018.
I'm gonna check his game logs right now, but like, so if you're worried about the connection between Alshon Jeffrey and Carson Wentz, there you go. But like, how do you throw it that many times against a defense giving up 146 yards a game on the ground?
With no starting cornerbacks in the game. And I don't know how Eric Rowe looked amazing. And that stupid little, what should have been a touchdown.
All right. The last time Alshon Jeffrey had 100 yards, over 100 yards, was December 16th, 2018. Against the Rams. Against the Rams.
That's when he stole the pass from Aguilar?
Yeah. Prior to that, first game of the season against the Titans in 2018. 8 receptions, 105 yards. Had no 100 yards receiving in 2017.
Interesting.
And then he had 1 with the Bears in 2016, 4 with the Bears in 2015, 3 with the Bears in 2014, and 5 with the Bears in his rookie year, including 2 over 200 yards. So he clearly peaked in his rookie year.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been weirdly downhill. Eagles, if they can't beat the Dolphins, they're gonna struggle.
Who can they beat?
Yeah, like it's legit. Like this is not to depress anybody. It's not to like say we're not bashing the team, but in all honesty, there's no way to go to week 16 and beat the Cowboys and somehow win this division.
For some really stupid way this universe wants to work, the Eagles still can win the division, but they don't deserve it. Neither do the Cowboys. That's the thing. Like, neither team deserves the division.
Both teams really suck this year.
They're both really fucking bad. Like, and I don't care what Cowboys fan wants to come at me. Like, your team sucks. So does the Eagles. So do the Eagles. Like, it's both ways. Not trying to be a homer or anything. Both teams suck. And, with the Cowboys, it's your head coach, plus your play calling. You're feeding Zeke at the wrong times, or make Dak throw at the wrong times, and your defense is not that good. It's kind of the same thing with the Eagles here, except the head coach doesn't suck. Peterson does not suck. It's the coordinators right now, and now we got doors opening. We have alarms going off. We have everything going off right now. This is the Eagles season.
But there's some positives though.
You're telling her right now when it's your fault.
There's some positives though. I mean, JJ caught his first touchdown pass, which looked good for him.
One catch.
And I mean, you agree on that part. He should have been more heavily involved. But
Red Ward, one catch after 6 catches last week. I know Jeffrey and Aguilar were out last week, but he showed you he can play.
But that defines this season. The inconsistency. There's no real game plan here, and like for anybody to really progress.
And Zach Ertz killed the game.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, honey. Zach Ertz killed the game.
Dallas got to look pretty damn good.
Goddard had a spooky stat line: 6 receptions, 66 yards. He had the old, devil 666. But Ertz, that drive where it was at least 3 points. That huge drop on that drive where if he catches that and he either scores or they're on the 1 yard line, that's a game changer. And the Eagles did nothing because then I think Elliott missed He missed a field goal on that, right?
Yeah.
So that's a game changer. And then that touchdown at the end of the game, that's a game changer. Like that touchdown catch was a little tougher, but like he had it, and then he tried to pull it and he loses it.
So let's nip this in the bud real quick.
He should have been inactive. He shouldn't have played.
For the Wentz haters, how do you feel Carson did today?
Like in the first half of the game, I came out and tweeted. I said I think he was okay. Like he was making good passes, but at times he was deciding to float it when he should have drilled it, and he was drilling it when he should have floated it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was making, and his footwork was a little off too. But in the second half, he turned it on. Like his only interception of the game was that Hail Mary at the end of the game.
Which
like,
it
is what it is. Like we're not. So for discounting that interception, he went 28 for 45, not 28 for 46. 28 for 45 with 3 touchdowns.
That drives me nuts because they ran the ball only 20 times throughout the whole game?
19 times for 89 yards. Like that's a 4.7 yards per carry.
And they didn't lean on it. And Sanders looked pretty good.
But
this defines the season. This is exactly what's been happening all season long. The decision making by the coaches is just as bad as the decision making by our receivers, our quarterback. It's trickling down everywhere.
It does, and we've gotten to the point of the season where Cowboys fans, like that Cowboys Twitter account, Blogging the Boys,
mm-hmm.
They came out with a poll, which is obviously going to be very biased.
Of course.
Whose loss was worse? Eagles versus the Dolphins today, or Cowboys versus the Jets?
What was the score for the Cowboys and Jets?
It was like 75% saying this was the worst loss. Obviously, it's going to be biased.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like it was 24-22. Jets won 24-22. But you are, and I saw the argument. So Eagles are facing obviously rebuilding team. Jets aren't rebuilding. Ha ha ha. Jets, you were facing Sam Darnold for the first time since he came back from mono. Like he was
fresh out the strip club.
He was fresh out with a new spleen. Like and it shouldn't have been close at all. It shouldn't have even been a win. But we've gotten to the point where we're bragging with whose loss was worse.
That's how bad his division
is. That's how bad the season has been for both teams. Mm-hmm. It's right now the Cowboys fans are clamoring for a new head coach. Eagles fans are clamoring for new coordinators. And for the last few weeks, if you've been listening for the last few weeks, I've been giving Peter Schwartz. I've been giving him the benefit of the doubt. Out of all the whole season, I've been saying fire Schwartz, and he finally looks like he's finally adjusted. Mm-hmm. He kept Tom Brady in check. He kept Russell Wilson in check for the most part. And then his whole game plan gets lit up by Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm done with him. I'm done with him. There's nothing he can do this year to change my mind. The Eagles can win the next 4 games, including the Cowboys. He could call a shutout the next 4 games.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Done.
Do you honestly think, or would it throw you off if the Eagles don't make any coaching staff moves this offseason? And would it surprise you?
It would surprise me, yes, because you see what's going on right now. So if they were to bring everybody back, I would hope the media asked Doug and Jeff Lurie and Howie Roseman, what the hell did you see that you saw that you could grow on from the next year? Because there's absolutely nothing. There's nothing. The play calling is as vanilla ice.
That's terrible.
It's so bad. Like they finally, for the first time, maybe second time all year, saw that wow, Wentz is really good outside the pocket. Wow, if we roll out Wentz, it really helps. It really goes to his strengths. Not keeping him in the pocket when the pocket collapses and then he gets sacked and everybody's like, oh, you should have got the ball out quick. No, if he rolls out, he can see the whole field that he is good. He's good to go. Mm-hmm. But there's no creativity anymore.
There isn't. It's a very lousy offense.
And that is a testament on Peterson because he allowed someone fired by his dad to run his offensive game planning. And it's also a testament on how bad Mike Groh is.
I don't know. It just blows my mind. Like, the fact that the fan base sees it, the media sees it, what the hell is going on behind closed doors that nobody's making any adjustments, nobody's making any moves? Like, why is nobody being held accountable to the point where it's like, no, let me take the reins, let me take this over, get rid of this person, let's find a way to win. Nobody's trying to find a way to win. They're literally just finding ways of just being complacent. And at this point in the season, it's terrible.
And the fact that Doug Peterson during his press conference just now just said Miami's a good football team.
Mind blowing.
Shut up. like every mock draft, everything is calling is saying that Miami's going to be picking top 5. If you lose to a top 5 projected team in the draft next year, that's bad.
It's terrible. But they're facing 2 more in the next couple of weeks.
So now the Giants and Redskins are about to ruin their draft position because the Eagles suck enough to lose to bad teams.
So since we're talking about that, I'm gonna take this. I'm advancing. I'm simulating the whole season right now. Off season wise, I would be perfectly fine if the Eagles miss the playoffs this season, just because I need them to have a high pick in this draft for a damn wide receiver to line up alongside J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I'm done with Aguilar. I'm
Aguilar's not coming back. Aguilar's not coming back.
Hell no. But Jeffrey, the guy's not who he used to be.
Jeffrey, like we said last week, it's going to be so hard for the Eagles to move on from him because of his guarantees.
But there's got to be a way to make it work.
There's no way. Unless.
Didn't we sign Byron Maxwell to a crazy contract and still move him?
Yeah, but unless
you're avoiding it.
Unless. Here's my idea. If Jeffrey, obviously he had a really good game today.
Absolutely.
If Jeffrey's obviously and he voices his concern with the coaching staff, like, listen, I'm like I don't belong here or something like that. And the coaching staff is like, okay, we know this team is very interested in joining you, but the only way we are going to move you to that team so you can be happy is if you work with us and restructure your deal. If Jeffrey restructures his deal in a way that it helps the Eagles dead cap hit or whatever in an agreement that they trade him wherever he wants, maybe that would work. But they can't trade him right now. They're going to have a $17 million cap hit. And, that's very that's terrible.
I don't get why they put themselves in this position knowing that he's about to be over 31 or over 30 years old. Or is he going to be 31, I think.
They really, really relied on the whole band getting back together, and that's it. Like
they were complacent. That's the problem with this whole offseason. Like, it's so crazy that before the season we were like, this is amazing. This is the perfect roster. This roster is going to blow it out the water. But they were very complacent.
I saw the report that Joe Banner, the failed Eagles executive, came out and said that either Jeffrey or Deshaun Jackson is not going to be with the team next year.
Well, you clearly just stated why. That's a statement we shouldn't even worry about.
Yeah, but thing is, if Deshaun Jackson is gone next year without even a chance this year, I doubt it happens too. But without even really a chance this year to make an impact, he made an impact in one game. And we saw the kind of impact he could make in one game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he should have had the surgery when they first found out of the injury, but it's gone.
I don't really blame it on him. Like he was back in Eagles green. He wanted to play again. Like he was dying to make sure he was on the field somehow, some way. Yeah, there has been some miscommunication somewhere along the lines.
But I think that knowing Deshaun's now he has injury history. He kind of had one before, but now it's tenfold with this. They drafted his replacement. They drafted Alshon's replacement in JJ. That was obvious. You draft Deshaun's replacement in the first round. Second round, I'm good defensively. Go defense, maybe safety, maybe Xavier McKinley, maybe a guy to pair next to Cox once Malik Jackson's gone.
It's so funny that you said that. Just a little detour. So I know this is super irrelevant because this is not real life. But in Madden, I traded Jeffrey in the third round pick to the Jaguars for a first round pick, and I got CeeDee Lamb. Second round, I went for exactly who you just said, Xavier McKinley. You reminded me of the moment.
Two first round picks?
Yeah, we had 2 first round picks. I forgot who I drafted again for the first. Don't know if I traded it. Don't remember.
That's stupid.
I'm mad you just looked into that whole thing when I just connected the dots and you wanted to look deeper into it.
Jaguars will never do that.
Of course not.
But it is interesting to think about what teams would actually take. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know what that was. I thought aliens were contacting us or something.
And so I pulled something up on my computer and I had set up.
So the government was tapping us.
I didn't think you could hear that because we got my headphones in and the microphone over there.
No, I heard that loud and clear.
Oh, whatever. So right now, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a mock draft right now. I'm taking Ruggs. I'm taking Ruggs right now, first round.
Over CeeDee Lamb?
Lamb was drafted 9th overall to the Jaguars. That's what I'm saying. The Jags are going to have a high pick. They're not trading first round for Jeffrey and a third round pick.
I just want to say one more thing too. Speaking of Jaguars, Nick Foles
got benched.
is not a good season quarterback. Get over it.
I'm not going to get into it because people are going to get really angry and they're
let it go. I don't want to hear anything about Wentz has to get traded and that crap.
Yeah, let's drop the whole Wentz should be gone because Foles was better. Foles is good for a spurt. His spurt in 2017 it happened to be the Super Bowl spurt. Foles' spurt last year was the spurt to get into the playoffs last year. That's his spurt. The first 2 games of the season last year, he was terrible. Like the first couple games in 2017, he was terrible. Raiders game, and the game after that, I forget which game it was, but he was awful. And then he had a spurt.
Mm-hmm. He's a Fitzpatrick.
Not have a season-long spurt. He has a 4 or 5 game spurt.
Mm-hmm.
His spurt this year may have been the first few games of the season if he hadn't gotten hurt. Who knows if he would have been good the rest of the season? But he got hurt, unfortunately, and now he's back, and you see Nick Foles for who he is.
Yeah.
He's a placeholder who can maybe go on spurts, and plenty of backup quarterbacks can go on spurts.
Let's take a positive note on this. Carson Wentz is still healthy right now. We have passed week 13, and he did not get injured in this game.
12 games in. It is a 5-7 record. We can argue about records, QB wins and losses or whatever, but he has started and finished every game.
Yep. And he's taking blame when he hasn't needed to take blame.
Right, he is.
But he hasn't been perfect. But just saying out there.
All right, so back to my mock draft quickly.
Oh, yeah, let's focus on that.
So I took Ruggs first pick. Right now, my choices are Dylan Moses, linebacker, who is coming off an ACL injury. He is not cleared to play. Yeah, it just happened in August. He is an elite linebacking prospect. Elite, like Miles Jack.
Or is he a second round pick?
This is for second round right now. He dropped to the second round.
Okay, so before you do the second round, sell me on Ruggs. Why Ruggs?
Why Ruggs?
And don't say why not either. Like, I want an actual answer.
His speed, he's a 4.2, maybe 4.23, 4.24 runner. He's so fast. He does need to work on his routes a little bit, but he can change his body in the air to make catches that no one else can. Like he can move in between defenders like crazy. He's a red zone threat because he can jump over everybody. He's
so good pairing with Arthur.
He can catch. His hands are very strong. He's very strong hands. Like he finds the ball, unlike Aguilar, and unlike Darby too. Finds the ball in the air and he brings it down. Like that's Ruggs.
So he's a Devontae Parker versus Eagles kind of player right now.
Yeah, he's
with more speed.
He's kind of tiny. He's 6 feet 190, but he's the perfect Deshaun Jackson replacement.
Perfect protege for keeping Deshaun around too. Like
yes,
he can learn how to track the ball.
Like this. Let me see if I can find a sooner. Oh my goodness, what am I trying to say? Evaluation for him. So this is an evaluation on the Draft Network from October 2nd. Henry Ruggs aligns at wide receiver for Clemson Tide spread offense attack. 3-year player, 2-year starter. He mostly aligns inside with 10 and 11 personnel sets. In the run game, he is good. He has a rare run after catch ability and is a threat to take to the distance whenever he touches the football. For a wide receiver, he displays good lower body strength to run through arm tackles. He is well coached and will get his correct route depth. He is disciplined, unlike a lot of the penalties today. Plays hard and doesn't have when he doesn't have the football, as evidence in his willingness to be a stalk blocker down the field and run plays. In the passing game, he is excellent. If you do not reroute him at the line of scrimmage, he will beat you with excellent foot quickness or good upper body strength. When he beats you off the line, it could be a touchdown every time. For this reason, he forces corners to play soft press at the line of scrimmage. He is a good, disciplined route runner and does a good job getting to his depth even when he is pressed. Plays with very good instincts and will get to correct route depth and knows where the sticks are. He is fearless and will run slants and 6 routes over the middle and not flinch. He demonstrates excellent competitiveness by making contested catches in critical moments in games. He plays with good instincts and will sit in his route down without running into coverage. On intermediate routes, he does an excellent job of dropping his weight with excellent separation, quickness, and getting out of his break at the top of his route. On deep balls, he does a very good job of tracking the football and making tough over-the-shoulder catches. Although he seemingly has shorter than ideal arm length and may have smallish hands, he plays with good catch efficiency in the exposures I've had. Doesn't have a big catch radius and will let the ball get into his body at times. While this can be eliminated with coaching, this can be an issue in the NFL with windows closed faster and coverage is tight. Ruggs is a little stiff-hipped as a ball carrier in space, but is still a threat to take it to distance. On third down, this player can align inside or outside. He projects with good ability on special teams as a gunner, kick returner, and punt returner. In the NFL, he's started in the slot or on the outside on the strong side. This player has the explosion, lower body strength, big playability, hips, and size that are reminiscent of Brandon Cooks. However, Ruggs has more versatility in his ability to run every route on the route tree. Did I sell you?
You told me a whole thesaurus, yeah. So Ruggs over Devontae Smith?
Yes, over Devontae Smith. Smith is a second, third round player.
Okay. What about Ruggs and Devontae Smith?
I'll take both. Like right now, the second round, I also have other than Dylan Moses, which I'm tempted to take because even though he might be a little bit of a red shirt player, he could be a Jalen Smith or Miles Jack type player. Like take a little bit off and then come back and be a really big impact player. But then we got Kenneth Murray there, a linebacker at Oklahoma, who I really like, who here dropped down to second round. And I had an article a few weeks ago of the players that Eagles might have to trade up for, and he was one of the players. I guess he had a bad year. I really like him. KJ Hamler of Penn State, speed, a lot of speed. So that's another wide receiver they can take. Or Neville Gallimore from Oklahoma, who's a very good defensive tackle. Like they can go any way in the second round, and I'd rather them. I think for me, like in this situation, if Dylan Moses is available, I'm drafting Dylan Moses. Like he's so good. I'm drafting him right now. He's just that good.
But on a scale of 1 to 10 for each player, what's the likelihood you think Eagles go for those kind of players? Like I have trust issues right now after this season.
I mean, knowing our medical staff and seeing how Jordan Howard's stinger has cost him 3 weeks. I mean, I know stingers can really lead into the neck nerves and everything like that. But hopefully it doesn't turn into a herniated disc for his neck.
I don't think they signed Jordan Howard to an extension.
I mean, if this is more serious than it is, then he's definitely gone.
No, but I'm saying, like, even if he comes back, say, like, week 15 comes back, I just don't think he's in the plans.
I mean, they have that contingency plan on Ajayi.
Who doesn't look as quick as he used to.
Give him more chances, then. Like, it's 2 carries aren't going to let him showcase.
2 carries is enough, okay? 1 carry is more than enough.
Yeah.
2 carries is overdoing it.
Kiss my ass. Like, let him show off what he can do. He's been working his ass off to get to this point. Let him know, instead of giving Sanders 17 carries, or even if you're giving Sanders, if you're giving 17 carries to Sanders, give Wentz less throws and give more runs.
That's what doesn't make sense. Like, why is Wentz throwing for over 40 times in back-to-back weeks? And your running game is still under 20.
It's just,
And the Eagles are on a three-game losing streak right now. The first in Doug Peterson's tenure. Like, this is, man, like,
it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Oh man.
Like, it's
the only positives to take away from this, like I said, is Wentz is still healthy. JJ finally caught a touchdown, even though he only got 2 receptions in the game. Or no, 2 targets in the game.
2 targets, 1 reception.
Miles looked good. He was over 100 all-purpose yards. Barnett looked good.
Barnett
was
in the backfield every play.
He looked good. You called it. He was your breakout player. I called for Dallas Goedert. Goddard looks really good. Moving on.
I mean, I called for 12 sacks from Barnett, but he's been pressure after pressure after pressure.
He looks really good this year. Like, even like, with the little knickknacks in here and there, he looks pretty good. I don't know.
Like this, like I said on Twitter, I usually have words for mostly anything. But this one, I don't have any words. Like you let a really bad team, an
Put 30 plus points on you.
average quarterback who had the same amount of touchdowns and interceptions this year, 10 and 10, who had a losing record against you in his career, 2-3-1. I know he beat you last year, but it was really more. He had Deshaun Jackson last year.
Yeah, that was the main reason he beat us last year.
And you're looking at now a team 5-7, still one game out of the first place, still one game out.
But even it's funny because we called it early in the season. I asked you if this team makes the playoffs, you think it will do damage or if they'll be one and done. And I think we both agreed on that they'll be a one and done team if they make the playoffs.
100%. Like if they make the play, if they win the division, they're either facing because with the 49ers losing today, I think they're only one game up on the Seahawks now. Well, Seahawks have to win tomorrow, but I think that will make the Seahawks. If the Seahawks win tomorrow, I'm not looking in front of me right now. If the Seahawks win tomorrow, I believe they're 9-3, and the Niners right now are 10-2. One of those teams is going to be a wild card, and one of those teams will be facing the Eagles in that wild card game.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really want to see another? I mean,
we're gonna need a triple doink this time.
Eagles defense faced, they faced Wilson and they were really good. But do you really want to trust Russell Wilson against this defense for the second time?
In Seattle.
No, it would be in Philly because it's the division winner.
So okay, yeah, I forgot.
It would be at home, but still, are you trusting the Eagles defense against Russell Wilson for the second time in a season?
Can Nick Foles play cornerback? You think that's possible?
The season, actually, I mean, if the Eagles win the division, they might have an easier time against either one because Seahawks and Niners face each other for the last game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in Seattle. It might be the game for the division. They beat each other up. They got to play the next week.
That's true.
But one of them might have a bye. One of them might not for the wild card.
But do you I honestly...
Not that I'm saying that in confidence, but...
Yeah. But my thing is, I honestly wouldn't risk the draft pick to reach the playoffs knowing that we'll be one and done kind of thing. I know they got to believe in what they're doing, and I know some Eagles fans will be optimistic about it. But my thing is, this team is so bad and badly aged that we really got to, retool in the offseason, get younger, and put the right pieces around Wentz on offense, the right pieces around Barnett on defense, and so on, you get me? So it's that's my thing. I'm not saying they should tank. I'm just saying, logically thinking,
if they were facing any other teams the rest of the season, I would agree. But I don't want to see them tank at the expense of the other teams in the division getting wins.
Yeah.
Because literally every single game the rest of the season is against a division opponent. Yep. We got the Giants on Monday night. Then you got the Redskins. Then you got the Cowboys. Then you got the Giants.
I wouldn't mind a Cowboys win. Eagles, we beating the Cowboys just to kind of to kill that streak that they have on us right now.
Oh, me too. But the fact of the matter is, if the Cowboys lose to the Bears next, the Cowboys have 2 straight really hard games. No matter what you want to say about those teams' quarterbacks, they have the Bears next Thursday,
and then
the Rams. Both teams with pretty good defenses, and the Rams, maybe Jalen Ramsey decides to show up that game. Who knows?
But thank God we didn't trade for him. I think you're 1 for 2 on trade demands.
Because Chris Harris hasn't really been good this year either.
Oh, what the hell happened to him?
He hasn't been good either.
1 for 3. Devontae Parker's been the one exploding.
Who else did I want it? Robbie Anderson's been pretty good with it. Yeah, but still, imagine. Well, I'm actually happy Devontae Parker is not here with this coaching staff, because who knows what he would have been doing. It would have been
Mike
another.
would have said, "I don't know how to use.
I don't know how to use Devontae Parker. I've seen his tape in Miami, how he can get up and get the ball. Just I don't know how to incorporate that.
I don't know how high we should throw it above his head."
Oh my
What a
God!
coach staff.
Like, I don't even want to even look at Facebook for that segment. Like, it's
Yeah, I think just for the sake of fans.
actually, no. Someone said, "Look at all the Wentz ass kissers still blaming everything but Wentz for all of the Eagles' losses."
Really, he did not do anything really wrong in this game. Like, yeah, like a couple balls sailed, a couple balls dropped. Like,
There. Oh, I'm sorry, but there's a petition going on right now. Make the Eagles walk home from Miami. Sign the petition.
Eagles social media is still undefeated as the team is defeated.
Make Schwartz walk home, and then keep Mac Hollins on the plane, but then make him walk to Canada. He doesn't need to be on this team anymore. He doesn't.
No, he really doesn't.
Like, there was just so many boneheaded penalties. One from.
I didn't get the Jernigan penalties too much.
The first
there has to be a black and white
legs,
line.
but it's
yeah,
just,
but he fell on the floor. Like, what are you supposed to do? Just look at Fitzpatrick from the bottom? Like,
kinda.
His job is still supposed to take down the quarterback. Like, there's got to be a black and white to this freaking penalty.
You're supposed to tap the quarterback and say, "Gotcha." That's it. That's
At this point, I don't doubt that.
So here's another one. The real reason this team has been overrated and given way too much credit. Roseman had help from Ho Douglas, catching lightning in a bottle in 2016, but his body of work, especially in the draft personnel evaluations in 2010, has been abysmal. Only reason Roseman is GM is because his family got him the job with the Lurries, and Jeffrey loves his non-football nerd types running his organization. These people hate traditional football guys, and Thunder knows that real blue-collar working men that grew up playing sports not having every advantage and privilege like Lurie and Roseman.
I'm not there yet with Roseman. I'm not going through that.
I'm not either, but I think next year's my last year with him.
Yeah, depending on what he does those offseasons, like, you gotta be smart, man. Like, why is it that the fans and the media, they legit know more about what to do with this team than the freaking...
Then, all of these fans out there, go be GMs. Go do it.
I applied, but they never called me back.
My references weren't up to snuff. But here's the deal. So let's look quickly before we're ending.
You told me that Grow wouldn't know what to do with me over there.
Yeah, it's Schwartz would lie me the wrong way. But so we're looking at, if the only players that would not account to dead cap if they were to be cut next year, Malcolm Jenkins.
Not cutting him.
They're not cutting him, but we could say he's not.
They're in contract extent talks with him right now.
I mean, who knows especially if in the first round, let's say they miss out on all the wide receivers.
No, that's not happening. Don't you ever say that again in your life.
Can I just play devil's advocate for 1 minute?
No. I rebuke that.
Let's say they miss out on all the wide receivers somehow. Or they skip over one, because we know they have a tendency to skip over talent.
Pick up defensive end again.
Grant Delpit from LSU, the safety in LSU, he's great. So, if you lose Malcolm Jenkins and you get him, we'll see. Nigel Bradham.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah.
You can cut him and save $4 million.
Do it.
Well, Malcolm Jenkins, you would save about $4 million. You would have a cap hit of $6 million, dead money in $6 million, but cap savings of $4 million.
No, I want Jenkins to
Bradham, dead money $5 million, but cap savings $4 million.
Cut him.
Let's see. You could cut Derek Barnett. You don't get any savings.
No, why would I do that?
You can cut Sidney Jones. You save $1 million.
Damn right.
Save $1 million, $1.3 million there.
Has he played since like? When was the last time he played?
I don't know. You can cut Dallas Goedert, but you only save $400,000.
Absolutely not.
You cut LeBlanc, and you save 1.1.
We haven't seen him this year, so I can't say nothing.
You cut Rasul, you save 750,000.
I'm still on the Rasul train.
Probably the two biggest yeses to cuts right now. You could cut Duke Riley, and you save $800,000. He's gone.
Yeah, they could give me that $800,000, and that could be more.
And you can cut Mac Hollins for $158,000 in dead cap, but you save $735,000. He's gone.
He's still gonna be haunting us, even after we cut him.
He's gone. I think there's an option for Darby next year.
Darby looked good after. No, I'm sorry.
No, before his interception.
Before his interception.
He looked good at his interception. That was it.
But then getting mossed multiple times on both sides of the field.
That was it.
Like Jalen looked amazing last couple of weeks, and this week he just looked like old Jalen.
He looked terrible.
He was being bullied out there, bro. Like I felt bad for him at some point.
And the fact that you come out in an interview after the game and say, well, Devontae Parker gets paid to do those things. You get paid to break them up, too.
You get paid to cover.
like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, it's...
They're learning from the coaches. That's what it is.
And now... Like, I ran... it was only 4 polls. Never mind. Forget what I was saying. An emotional Zach Ertz after the game. I'm extremely disappointed in my play today. Probably one of my worst games I've played in a long time. We can't let this ruin the season. It probably did.
It most likely did.
It probably did.
I don't know, man. This is not a team that just won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. It's just like last year. This is not.
This is a team looking for an identity, and there's no identity right now. There's no identity. Do you want to be a team that wins games, loses games because you can't score enough points, but your defense played great, or are you losing games because your offense played great, but your defense didn't? That's what it's been this season, and you're not really winning games because of one or the other right now. It's that's not what's happening. You're winning games because the other team's not being that good. And right now, and it's because the coordinators suck. Mm-hmm. It's no doubt about it. And if Jay Gruden doesn't work out, I really want Jay Gruden as offensive coordinator. But if he doesn't work out, I want them to look at Joe Brady, who is the passing game coordinator, quarterbacks coach passing games coordinator and wide receivers coach for LSU. Joe Brady took Joe Burrow, who's probably going to be the number 1 pick this year. Joe Burrow. No one thought of him as a potential number 1 pick. It was Tua. If it wasn't Tua, it was Justin Herbert. And if it wasn't either one of those, maybe Jake Fromm. But Joe Burrow was a glorified game manager in 2018. In 2019, he's probably going to win the Heisman because this is Joe Brady's first game. First year with LSU. Joe Brady, the 2 seasons before this, was with the New Orleans Saints, and he was working under Sean Payton, Pete Carmichael, Joe Moorhead, who's now the head coach of Mississippi State, and Kevin Rodgers, who coached Brett Favre under the Vikings. And then who was the quarterback he coached last year? The last 2 years? Drew Brees. So you have a very up and coming. He graduated college. Joe Brady graduated college in 2013. 2 years after us. So this guy
graduated college.
2011.
How old are you?
30.
That's impossible.
How is that impossible?
College. I'm thinking high school. I'm like,
shit. This Dolphins game got you fucked up.
Yo, and yeah.
So Joe Brady, anyway. Joe Brady. has taken an LSU team probably going to win the national championship this year with Joe Burrow, who's lining it up this year. Bring him in as an even if you could entice him to not maybe be the offensive coordinator, maybe pass same title he has right now at LSU, you're gonna have to throw a lot of money at him because he has a really good gig right now. Other offenses in the league are probably gonna look at him for awesome offensive coordinator too. Mm-hmm. But he's only then he has to be 28. If he's
to have a young mind behind Doug Peterson would be, to me, very exciting because this team, this whole organization right now is missing.
He's missing
a fire on their ass.
He's 30.
Yeah, they need that.
September 23rd, 1989, and he's leading the offense for LSU, the number one team in the country, maybe number two, Ohio State, whatever. But still, you have that kind of mind. I hate to say this because I still don't view him as highly as Doug Peterson, a Sean McVay type of mind. Because when Sean McVay was on the Redskins, he was so sought after. And then you see what he did with the Rams.
Only for 2 years, though.
Okay, or whatever. But I know it wasn't, Super Bowl 3 points, whatever. You're still looking at a really, really bright mind to bring in and help him grow with Wentz.
Yeah, they definitely need that.
But he's also growing with Wentz, but also bringing in the knowledge that he just learned from Ed Orgeron, one of the most intense coaches in the whole world. You can't even understand what he's talking about sometimes. And then he's learned from Sean Payton. He's learned from Drew Brees, and coaches who coach with Brett Favre. What else do you want in a coach who has talked with other people and has this much knowledge? Bring him in to grow with Wentz and hire him after the national championship. Fire Grow right after the season ends, and then wait for LSU to be done. If LSU is still playing after the Eagles season's done, because it might not happen. The Eagles are in the playoffs, but fire Grow and say, "Hey, you're the only Brady we want on this team."
Just like that's a pitch.
You're the only Brady we want. We don't want you to go to another team and then we beat another Brady. We want this Brady here. And it's like there's really no other offensive minds. Like I'm gonna have to do some more research on this, but there's no other offensive minds that I know of right now that I want on this team. Jay Gruden, Joe Brady. Defensively, who the hell knows? Because you have maybe we'll promote Stoutland to defensive coordinator.
No, he's doing great with offensive line. He needs to stay right there.
But right now, the three coaches that I'm good with staying are Peterson, Stoutland, and Philip Daniels. Again, you saw the defensive line today.
Well, what about Dave Phipp? Don't sell him. He has. Special teams is what it is. It's been consistently there.
He's been a really good special teams coach, but that special teams unit hasn't been really good this year.
Yeah, but it hasn't been the worst.
It hasn't been the worst, but it hasn't been what they need on special teams is Chris Maragos again. They need a player. They need a gunner on that damn. They don't have one anymore. They don't have Alex Singleton could be that guy, but they don't really give him the chance.
They don't give anybody
a chance. You perform 1 week and you're on the bench next week. It's really mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm.
It's so damn stupid. Like Greg Ward last week. Again, 6 catches today, 1 catch.
Yeah, I can't wait to rewatch the game to see.
JJ catches a touchdown. Doesn't see the ball again.
He didn't see the first quarter. He didn't see that much action in the first quarter to begin with when he was a starting receiver. Like that blew my mind.
They showed the graphic. JJ Arcega-Whiteside starting receiver, and then it was like that was it.
Aguilar on the outside, Greg Ward on the inside, Jeffrey on the other side.
Aguilar, I'll give it to you, Aguilar. You played a pretty good game today. You had some nice moves out there. You actually made that catch that they overturned and made it a catch. But gotta see a little bit more. But again, the offense came today. It wasn't beautiful. It was decent.
It was enough. It was enough to win the game.
You score 31 against the Dolphins, you should win.
Yes, absolutely.
But the defense, Jalen Mills, Ron Darby.
Avonte Maddox at times.
Then we had some suspect tackling too.
And then the pass rush disappeared in the second half completely.
Heads need to roll. Heads really need to fucking roll. That's it.
Is that how we're ending it?
That's it. The move needs to be made.
Eagles have a huge identity crisis, and the moves need to be made to fix it.
Like the Eagles don't even have an identity that anybody wants to steal.
Yeah, that's legit.
Like identity thefts would look at the Eagles and be like, I'll go pass.
Yeah, there's better out there. All right, guys. Well, stay tuned for the breaking news podcast when Chris's wife goes into labor.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Here's the timeline for those of you worried about my life. We actually ended up going to the hospital Friday night because we thought my wife's water broke. It didn't. So we go home. We have another appointment tomorrow in the snowstorm at 7:30 in the morning. They told us to bring our stuff with us just in case. If that ends up being okay, and they send us home, I go to work. Wednesday, we have another appointment. If that's all good, then they send us home. Friday, the baby's not here yet. Friday night, around 4 or 5 o'clock, we're going to the hospital to start the induction for birth on Saturday. So before the Giants game on Monday, I will have a baby.
All right.
But who knows?
Like a plan.
Who knows? It's probably going to happen tomorrow during a snowstorm.
It might just happen.
Because that's what my daughter wants to just
she's going to come in with entrance.
Suffer more and have to worry about a damn snowstorm driving to the hospital. That's it.
It's going to be a grand entrance.
It's my life.
But thanks for tuning in with us, guys. As always, you can find me at BCameronPSN. You can find him at Infante54. That's infant with an E, 54. And we'll talk to you guys next week after, well, actually, next week is Giants, right?
On Monday night. Talk to you Tuesday.
Yeah. It's we got a little longer week.
Yeah.
Hopefully something good at least.
It's nice to dwell on the loss for 10 days.
Until then, stay tuned for Chris's mock drafts.
Yep, more mock drafts this week, baby. I'm going to do like 10 different ones. Whatever. As always, go Birds.
That's it.